In this video, we are going to implement RabbitMQ. So, to run RabbitMQ with RabbitMQ management Docker file, you need to have Docker desktop running on your machine. Docker desktop provides the necessary environment for running Docker containers. Here we have Docker desktop. We are running it. So we open up the Docker desktop here. Next thing we need to do, run the RabbitMQ container on a command prompt. Let's open the command prompt and we run this command here. Let's see. We are gonna run this command. So alright, it's successful. Let's take a look at this command. So here docker space run space -d, it runs the container in detached mode in the background here, and name space RabbitMQ is the name, the container name is RabbitMQ, and -p space port number maps port 5672 on the host to port 5672 on the container. So the default RabbitMQ port for messaging this is, and the other one -p space 15672 and 15672. These are maps port 15672 on the host to port 15672 on the container, the default RabbitMQ management UI port, this one. And RabbitMQ 3-management, it specifies the RabbitMQ image with the management plugin. When you run this command, Docker will download RabbitMQ management image if it is not already downloaded. So create a new container named RabbitMQ and start it in the background. You will be able to access RabbitMQ messaging interface on port 5672 and the management interface on port 15672 of your host machine. So when we take a look at Docker desktop, we see RabbitMQ image came here and it's running. And our RabbitMQ management UI will be available at localhost 15672. Here we go to this link and RabbitMQ management UI came here. Our default credentials are guest. We can log in with the guest username and guest password. So here we logged in. So everything is here. When we can send message here and we can see the sending messages. So next thing we are gonna do, we open the Visual Studio and we create RabbitMQ publisher and RabbitMQ consumer projects. We are gonna create two web API projects. First, let's create project, MVC project. Let's click on next. So the name of the project will be RabbitMQ publisher. Click on next, and here we don't need this. We are gonna run on the Docker, so we click on enable container support, so everything looks fine. We click on create. So we created our project. Next thing, we are gonna add NuGet package, manage NuGet packages going, and we're gonna find RabbitMQ client package here. So let's find it, and we're gonna install this NuGet package. Click on install. Alright, that's fine, we installed it. So next we are gonna create a service class here. Click right and add new item. Its name will be RabbitMQ service.cs. Click add, and our class is gonna include these. So our class is gonna have these lines of codes. So the important point here, we need to change host name because our project runs on Docker, so we need to change it to host docker.internal. Let's make it like this. Alright, so if we take a look at this code here, RabbitMQ service class is designed to manage RabbitMQ connections and messaging. So here connection is a private field to hold the connection to the RabbitMQ server, and channel here a private field again to hold the channel which is used for communicating with the RabbitMQ server, and constructor, our constructor here, it initializes a new instance of the RabbitMQ class. Connection factory, it's here, creates a new connection factory instance which will be used to establish a connection to the RabbitMQ server. And here host name, it's host name or IP address of the RabbitMQ server. So as we mentioned before, host Docker internal is used to refer to the host machine when running Docker. And port number here, it's RabbitMQ is listening this default port. Username to authenticate with RabbitMQ, default guest. Password to authenticate with RabbitMQ, again it's default guest. So here connection factory create connection, it's create a new connection to the RabbitMQ server using the connection factory. And channel here creates a new channel for communicating with RabbitMQ. And here close connection, it's a method to close the RabbitMQ channel and connection. This is important for resource cleanup and to avoid memory leaks. And here send message method, this is a method to send a message to a specified RabbitMQ. You know, RabbitMQ is a kind of queue data structure. And here channel queue declare, it's declaring a queue with the given parameters here. This is the queue name of the queue, and durable, if it is true, the queue will survive a broker restart. And exclusive, if this is true, the queue can only be accessed by the current connection and will be deleted when the connection closes. And auto delete, If true, the queue will be deleted when there are no more consumers. And arguments, additional arguments for the queue, it can be null. And here what else? Channel basic here encoding UTF-8. This converts the message string into a byte array using UTF-8 encoding. And here we have channel basic publish method. It publishes the message to the specified queue. Here is exchange, the exchange to publish to. It means empty string means the default exchange. And routing key, in this case the queue name here, routing key. Basic properties here, basic properties of the message, it can be null. And body, the byte array of the message. So this class allows you to establish a connection to RabbitMQ, send messages to a specified queue, and close the connection when done. Next thing we need to do, we need to go to program files, and we are gonna register RabbitMQ service. Here we are adding this line to register RabbitMQ service. Next we can go to our controller here, and we are gonna call the RabbitMQ service and send a message here. So let's add these lines here. So we have RabbitMQ service, we use dependency injection, constructor injection here, getting the instance, and by using this instance we send message. This is our queue name, so, and this is our message. Okay, we are done. Next thing, we are gonna create consumer project. So we open the Visual Studio here, we create a new project. It's gonna be MVC, click on next, and name will be RabbitMQ consumer. Click next, and enable container support, click on create. Alright, we created our project. Next we are gonna add NuGet package again. RabbitMQ client we are gonna add. Let's search it here, and it come out. Let's install it. Alright, we installed. Yes, we installed NuGet package. Next we are gonna create service class, add new item. Its name will be RabbitMQ consumer service. Click on add. So here are lines of codes here. The important thing, we are gonna change host name from localhost to Docker, because we run this project on Docker. So if we take a look at this class, RabbitMQ consumer service class inherits from background service, which is a base class for implementing a long-running I-hosted service. So here we have logger here, used for logging message. Connection holds the connection to the RabbitMQ server. Channel holds the channel used for communicating with RabbitMQ. And message queue, a thread safe collection to store messages received from RabbitMQ. Here are constructor. So it initializes a new instances here, and also calls this method to set up the RabbitMQ listener. It calls this method. If we take it initialize RabbitMQ listener method, it initialize RabbitMQ listener setups the RabbitMQ connection and channel. Here connection factory creates a new connection factory instance with the specified host name. Here is connection factory create connection. It establishes a connection to RabbitMQ server. And channel connection create model here creates a channel for communication. So here queue declares the queue named myQ with the specified parameter, and logger log information logs an informational message indicating the connection and channel are initialized. If we take a look at execute async method, this is the main method that runs when the service starts. Stopping token method checks if the cancellation token has been triggered. Eventing basic consumer creates a new consumer to handle incoming messages. Consumer received message method event handler, this is so it processes messages received from the queue. And encoding UTF-8 converts the message body from bytes to a string, and message queue add method adds the received message to the blocking collection. And channel basic AC key acknowledges the message as processed, and channel basic starts consuming message from the queue which name is myQ. And here we have get message method. It retrieves a message from the blocking collection, and try take method here attempts to take a message from the collection waiting up to 1 second, and returns a retrieved message. And here we have dispose. It cleans up resource when the service is disposed. Channel close here closes the RabbitMQ channel. Connection closes the RabbitMQ connection. Base dispose calls the base class dispose method to clean up the other resources. So this class sets up a background service that listens to a RabbitMQ queue, processes incoming messages, and stores them in a blocking collection for later retrieval. So next thing, we need to register the service RabbitMQ consumer service. So to do that, we go to program files here. So we are gonna add services here. We are gonna add these 2 lines here. So it adds the service to DI container. Next thing, we go to controller. So our controller is gonna have these lines of codes. Here we get the RabbitMQ service as a dependency injection method. Here is constructor injection, gets the instance here, and here we call RabbitMQ service. It gets the message from the RabbitMQ server and it returns the message to the page. So everything is done. We created both projects. Next thing, we are gonna run both program and check if these are working. So when we run both project, so here this is our RabbitMQ publisher. It sends a hello RabbitMQ message. It goes to server, and here this is our RabbitMQ consumer project, and it got the message here, and it displays the message. It gets this message from RabbitMQ server, so everything works fine. So last thing we are gonna do, we come to RabbitMQ management, we come to queues and streams tab here, and we click on get messages button. So it opens up, and if you see here hello RabbitMQ message, our RabbitMQ publisher project sends a message here hello RabbitMQ, and our server gets this message and it sends to RabbitMQ consumer project also.